system in Europe is not patient-centric. It's system-centric.
Europe has a directive of cross-border healthcare.
You're opening a Pandora box here.
And is it working now?
No, practically it does not work.
Better to be a good health tourist?
Oh, yes.
Not to become a medical tourist.
Definitely. Definitely.
Okay, so insurers must invest into health tourism, I guess, to prevent spendings for a medical treatment.
In my opinion, that would be logical.
It's interesting.
Thing.
The taxi driver can say, oh no, this clinic is not good.
If we talk in grotesque manner about that, that's what can happen. There was a long journey to something of that level that we are doing right now.
Europe has always been a reference point for global initiatives in medicine, referencing to a best clinical expertise, to researchers, to global medical ethics. And today we are discussing the problems in medical tourism industry. What possibilities has Europe now in a global medical tourism market? And today I'm speaking with General Secretary of European Health and Medical Tourism Association, Maria Afsar Nazari. Maria, hi, nice to have you here in Berlin. Can you tell me, please, what are you doing here now? What's your sphere of interest in Berlin today?
Hello, Vlad. I'm also happy to see you. I'm happy we're meeting in different countries regularly as we know each other for many years. We are good friends and colleagues, and I'm happy to be in Berlin today. Yes, it's a special occasion, the annual important event in our industry, ITB Berlin. It's a big expo, one of the biggest in the world. Of course, the main focus of it is general tourism and different branches of tourism, because tourism is objectively it's a huge concept of lifestyle of for all of us, for all people. And this year is the 60th edition of ITB Berlin, and for the last, if I'm not mistaken, decade for sure, we have our medical tourism pavilion inside the big expo. And that's a big achievement for our industry, which is so nuanced. We are called medical tourism. We're medical tourism professionals, but it sounds like it's a small branch of, something big, of a general tourism. Partially it is so, but also medical tourism is a very, very nuanced industry, and we have our own struggles and achievements inside of it, and I hope today we will speak about them.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting that this multicultural place like Berlin, bringing here experts in medical tourism, I think it shows the industry that medical tourism is really important in nowadays, both for tourism industry as well as for healthcare industry. But here I have some question. I think you have your own point of view on this question. We have a pavilion of health and medical tourism. So what's from your point? Is it the same? How it different, like between health and medical tourism? Can you speak about that?
That's a very good question. It's been a sensitive question, I think, for all the years since what we do shaped into the real industry, as I mentioned. And it's a lot of questions here. If we even start with the definition itself, medical tourism, I think a lot of colleagues will agree with me that even this formulation, most of us are sensitive to it, because tourism, of course, we're speaking about, just for our audience, we need maybe to clarify it from the start. I mean, medical tourism, it is when people travel for treatment or for well-being, let's put it like this. So there is an element of tourism because, you travel from point A to point B. You also interact with infrastructure of another place of your destination where you arriving. But the crucial difference is in the matter, in the purpose of your travel. So we know there is, leisure travel, business travel, all kind of travel. But when you travel to improve your health or to get a certain treatment, that of course makes, I prefer to call it treatment abroad, like treatment outside of your own country.
That's medical tourism.
That is medical tourism.
But health tourism is also treatment.
Health tourism is treatment, but the principal difference here is Health tourism is the activity targeting general improvement of well-being, leisure. It can contain slightly medical part if we talk about sanatorium treatment, some advanced wellness centers. They provide their clients with a basic preventional checkup of the health. Of course, absolutely, that is a main difference. And the target group is more of the people who are looking for the well-being solutions for slight improvement of how they feel on a daily basis. When we talk about medical tourism, we talk about selection of special procedures, operations, surgeries. That is another story. Here we're dealing with the hospitals. Here we're dealing with treatment plans. Here we are dealing with follow-up protocols after the patient comes back to his own country. So yes, health tourism, we talk about wellness spa area with elements of preventive medicine and general procedures. When we talk about medical tourism, we talk about different things. That's for sure.
Okay, that's clear. So it's better to be a good health tourist.
Oh yes,
not to become a medical tourist.
Definitely, definitely.
Okay, but regarding health tourism, like in Eastern Europe, in Russia, CIS, like sanatoriums is a popular model. But in Europe, like we have Baden-Baden, we have Karlovy Vary, but it's not a concept of sanatoriums. What do you think? Like in CIS, this segment of tourism probably have a better foundation for development.
That's true. And I see the core of it historically in a difference of the healthcare systems. Because as we know, in Europe, the universal healthcare, which, fundamentally started in around 1960, and actually it never really changed since that dramatically. I mean, it's the same system. The point of it is a bit different. It's not focused that much on prevention. The structure of health system is more focused on the emergency service and on the high quality of the medical treatment when it's already needed. If we talk about countries that you mentioned, there was a good established system of preventive medicine. In my personal opinion, that's very smart. And to be honest, now we see the new trend of recent years, which I'm sure will become the trend for decades, longevity. In other words, preventive procedures to make your life healthier, not just longer, but with a better quality. And for that, you need like a car, you need a technical service, Yes, our body, we need to of course, also to check and to see how our system is working, etc., etc. So, and that is smart because, with good preventive healthcare, you will save even costs for advanced treatment.
You will save insurers money.
Definitely. That's for sure.
So insurers must invest into health tourism, I guess, to prevent spendings for medical treatment.
In my opinion, that would be logical thing to do.
It's interesting. So Maria, now you are involved into association stuff, but as I know, for almost 20 years you were involved and still involved in the medical in healthcare sector. So you have your own agency, facilitator company in Sweden, Maria Cares. So how do you combine these two positions? Because they're in one industry, but they are really different from the point of like strategic and so on.
You are absolutely correct. They are different, but they are absolutely complementary. And that association, European Health and Medical Tourism Association, I would say that is a result of those 20 years of being in the industry. The creation of the association, the idea which came along with a joint effort of many people, and that's an indicator of what the industry needs. And of course, the operational experience from the business part, that's what forms the demand for the association, how to find solutions for the problems that we all have, all facilitators who are working with European clients mostly. It's different processes, companies, but they work a lot in synergy, because my medical tourism agency, that is, the the mission, as I call it, in my life, to provide people with a high quality facilitating in this industry. But association as ours as any serves by the end of the day for the main person in all of that, for the patient, but not directly. Association is a bridge between business and policymakers, as any association in any industry. So we're a non-profitable organization, and again, there was a long journey to something of that level that we are doing right now, because in terms of the agency, in terms of collaboration with different stakeholders, we just grew this volume of knowledge and network, which is the most important. And we, with colleagues, feel that confidence that there is already something we can offer, not only to our clients, but to the industry in general, altogether.
Then you are scaling to not to growing your business, like helping more and more individuals, but you are scaling into this association stuff, so you can do it like B2B. So the industry is growing, scaling, but in the different way.
I would say it's all connected, and of course, that's all the part of the following growth of providing service to bigger groups of people as well. Because we are thinking now, when we explored and understood all the nuances of healthcare systems in different countries, globally and especially inside European Union.
So speaking about association, European Health and Medical Tourism Association, as I saw on the website and as the association declares, the aim is to combine together different countries under one brand of European medical tourism. So that's mean that probably the same rules, the same regulations in the industry. It's ambitious aim. So can you tell more about that?
The birth of association, I think every person who ever experienced doing a startup in any kind of industry knows that is a good metaphor. When you starting, especially something of that proportion, it feels like you are, all the process is like you're preparing, to give birth to something. Because it takes a lot of energy and effort and responsibility, and of course challenges are there. But again, it's such a natural process that maybe I use this metaphor, that it is challenging, it is difficult, but it seems like inevitable when you come to the certain point in your professional path. And the most important, again, I want to emphasize that when you find yourself in the company of the like-minded people with the same professional background, and then you understand that you live in different countries, but you face same challenges, and you speak same language about same problems. And that brings you to the idea that, okay, if it would be only me, then of course there would be no that much energy and confidence, only for one person to start something like that. But when we're already 4, then 10, then 15, and then it's rapidly growing, you understand that, okay, you are moving in the right direction. Definitely. So what challenges we face along this journey? Of course, as you very attentively mentioned, the top of the idea is to become as a big union of to make more structure in the industry, to bring more regulations, to make it more official, to make it more visible on different levels, to popularize it to people, to potential patients, popularize it to policymakers, to open the dialogue with policymakers, to get to know their opinion more deeply, not only on the level that we just observe, but to talk to people who are in charge in the big picture of healthcare, of how people manage themselves in this or another country. And of course, we needed that tool as association to start to move towards these goals.
Yeah, it's interesting. You mentioned the position of government, so you want to understand it more deeper.
Yes.
So what's the current position? We can't speak for all European Union. I think in different European countries there are different positions.
And that's the
more positive,
problem.
more negative. So how to unite these positions, and basically what are they today? For example, in Sweden, in Germany, like what countries you know better?
Yes.
Can you explain how they are looking on medical tourism?
Yes, that is exactly one of the biggest challenge. And if we look at Europe historically as a destination, that's one of the first destinations on Earth. Medical tourism in Europe going on back to many thousand years ago. I mean, Roman soldiers, coming back from the battles were making long stops by thermal springs, for example. Health tourism to recover, like a rehabilitation purpose after the battle or whatsoever. Germany has the brand of one of the highest quality of medicine in Europe.
Yeah, that's true.
And a center of attraction for people from different countries inside and outside of Europe to come to Germany for treatment. Not without a reason. The academic foundation for that was built for hundreds of years. So even now the development in many countries, we see how it's going on with technology, with everything. But as I like to give this also, to formulate it for better understanding, whatever technology develops, and it brings now equally to every country who has capacity to, to have it. But if we compare, I will not give any name from countries outside Europe and which is not Germany. We'll take the technology, same technology Germany will take, but Germany will put it on 80% of fundament that they already have historically in the base. And another country will put it in the percentage they are now in their development, and that is a gap that even technology will not cover that fast. I don't know. I don't remember. Maybe you were not with us yesterday for the presentation of professor from Charité Clinic, University Clinic for Berlin. He gave this brilliant, example of collaboration between Saudi Arabia and Germany in terms of doctors' internships, that Saudi doctors come into Charité, to educate themselves, and then they go back. And that is a wonderful, brilliant cooperation. But again, we're talking here about the example that there is one center of excellence, let's say, in Europe, it is definitely Germany. And then, other countries, even when they have the opportunities, they still need those center of excellence to help them to develop, etc.
Yeah, that's clear. But from this side, what's the attitude of Germany
towards medical tourism? We realize that Europe has this potential, right? As historically, the part of each country has its strengths in medicine in Europe. They're well known for those who working with, for example, Hungary is a well known dental hub for dental treatments, and people come all over Europe to this country for that.
And they're promoting.
And this is like a brand.
Germany don't promote.
No, Germany does not that actively promote, because the system itself, we cannot objectively call it medical tourism friendly. Still, because of the demand for treatments, it's great that Germany.
So why they don't use?
Like
why they don't use this powerful position of powerful brand, which can attract a lot of patients from everywhere? Maybe they think that it's a bad stuff for citizens, for government, like not enough beds or something.
Not enough beds, not enough administrative resources. Sometimes, if we talk about the connection between public systems of different countries to serve for that, yes, I think the core here is that on the country level, medical tourism is not seen as a project of worth of the carte blanche for the development, active development, for the reasons that you mentioned partially too.
So that's one of the aims which association have to explain to European Parliament,
have to go into
the benefits of medical tourism on the national healthcare system.
Yes, one of to again, to
regarding this question,
absolutely, to open up the dialogue, to show that there are many stakeholders who on the more individual level are interested in that. And we talk about both facilitators and hospitals and, agencies who accommodate those services.
So still, even in Germany, there are some governmental companies which understand that medical tourism makes sense.
I will not speak on behalf of governmental countries, to be honest. But definitely there are companies on the private business level who, who meet this demand of patients from other countries, and they do amazingly their job, and they provide those patients with services and bring them to German hospitals.
But inside of the Europe, there are some other countries which understand that medical tourism makes a positive influence on the national...
Spain.
Like Spain.
Absolutely.
Catalonia.
Catalonia specifically we can mention, and there are amazing people doing great job in this sector, our members and our colleagues. And yes, but that is the whole... that is the top of the challenge, that everyone in European Union countries supposed to be union, even by the name, but in fact, everyone has their own agenda. And it makes the whole structure to be very defragmented, and that makes it more complicated for people, for us, as a citizens of this or another country, even to understand how it works and what are our rights in this sense, if we speak about generalized European healthcare system, not only the specific healthcare of the country. So one of our missions is, of course, try to put it under one regulation, under one layer, that of course we cannot neglect the nuances of each country, but at least to open up this dialogue and to show cases, to show how it works or how it does not work, and to just start to talk about
because
it.
It's a good case when inside of Europe there are two different countries like Germany and Spain.
And this is just one example.
And Germany with a strong historically medical brand. And their attitude to medical tourism is like more to the negative side. And Spain, which doesn't have such a strong historically medical brand, but now due to medical tourism for the past decade, they are growing their medical tourism brand. And probably the healthcare system as well. So that's interesting to compare this and to make some presentations about showcasing.
Definitely. We got a very unique opportunity for which we are very grateful. Just very soon, 17th of March, HCI Expo and Conference company is arranging the summit, the dialogue in Brussels, in the EU Parliament, dedicated to the healthcare systems. And we have the opportunity to go there and maybe to start to open those doors and start the dialogue about those issues that we're talking about. And see where...
good luck with that. It's an important step.
Yes, it's just a first step, I would say, on that level. Of course, we understand that it's not... an easy road, not the last, not an easy road and fast road, but we see the power of the organizations like that, of the association, that it brings the volume to the problem, and then it's more difficult not to see the problem or not to be aware of it, let's put it like this, because as I mentioned, one story is it's like something on the individual level here and there. Another is when we are many and we understand this, how it works, and we're those mediators that can bring this information, because you and me, we know that how for us, because we're living in this, it's all clear. I've got the opinion, the person that I was talking, and I won a business event in Sweden because I live and work from there. Well-educated, well-established person, the manager of the company. He was asking me generally, is it legal for him to go to another country and receive treatment there, even if he, for example, pays from his own pocket? Like, you understand? So it's very twisted all over. Like, people usually do not even know their right in healthcare. We know usually our rights in other areas, maybe which are more in daily life that we face. But when it comes to the health, and I'm speaking now about medical problems, medical tourism is always the second choice. Of course, we all would love to make our issues fixed in the place where we live. It's convenient and it's natural. We look for the doctor next door or to a good professional specialist in our city, etc. But there are situations when, for this or another reason, the good quality treatment either is not available, or it is a long waiting time for it, or we have a cost sensitivity in this question.
It can be not covered by the insurance?
Or not covered by the insurance, yes.
Then you can find the option for self-paying in some other country,
In some other country, yes, absolutely. And
this legal?
That is absolutely legal. Absolutely legal.
Okay, so 100% legal medical tourism, yeah. Okay, it's a myth. Yeah,
that's a myth that basically you can get treatment only in the place you live.
So moreover, Europe has a directive of cross-border healthcare, which regulates this stuff when people traveling across inside the Europe, and the insurers will cover the expenses for medical treatment even in another country.
You're opening a Pandora box here.
Let's open it. Yeah, we have to.
In ideal world, that's how it should work. That is, again, in the pillars of the concept of European Union. Union is the word, meaning that all the citizens of different countries inside European Union have this right to have access to high quality healthcare services independently in which country inside the European Union. The idealistic perception of the idea of cross-border treatment directive, the document that exists, and according to it, again, in ideal scenario, if, for example, the patient from Sweden does not, that is written in the law, is not receiving the appointment or the referral to examination along 30 days, first in his own city where he lives and seeking for the assistance. After 30 days, the town, the place, the city where he lives should refer this patient to another city inside country. 30 days more, after 60 days, there is still, some extra waiting time. But when 90 days has passed, there is a legal right to seek for that treatment or specialist or surgery in another country inside European Union and to be covered by the local public insurance for that. For the medical part, not necessarily for the logistic expenses, that depends. And that should work from country to country. So the flow of the patient, according to this directive, should be easy and, easy to arrange.
And is it working now?
No, it does not
practically
work. No, practically
Why?
It does not work.
Because of people? Or because
human factor here is important because the majority of people have no idea about this law, that they have this opportunity.
The lack of knowledge.
Lack of knowledge is definitely there because I think if that information would be popularized, then again, it will be more difficult not to act on situations which do not work.
Okay.
Because then the mass of, questions from the public would be raised and people will really question why I do not get what is my
30
right.
30 days, it's time to go
Absolutely.
abroad.
90% of people have no idea that they can apply for that. Next thing, the directive, which should be common for everyone, for each country, works with its own nuances, country to country inside European Union, which makes, again, the good idea almost unoperationable. And again, we have from this perspective, as we mentioned already, Spain, I should see in my observation, they're more trying to execute this law more in the favor of the patients and as they see it as in favor of their system as well. They, for example, they accept patients from Holland, from, countries that are, more connected to the system and they don't have that much problems with exchange patients on that program. There are countries like Sweden where there are those nuances which actually make this law absolutely unexecutable. That, the medical issue should be referred out of Sweden to the place where the solution exists, and the solution is the same that we have in Sweden.
Who should decide where to refer? Insurer, hospital, patient?
Doctor. In Sweden, the chance to get the coverage for this medical treatment, the patient will get more chance if he's referred by the doctor that, is saying that, okay, this problem can be solved in Germany with this professor, and this is the reference to that, and with this document, public insurance can, consider the coverage of the case. But it happens never.
Yeah, that's interesting and very global problem. So in each country, there are their own problems inside of this transferring stuff. Yeah,
absolutely.
It's also like programming stuff, where to transfer this document, this patient, how to discuss this case with a concrete doctor in another country, why I should do that. I don't need to waste my time on this. So yeah.
That is my question along all these years by operating in Sweden, is that from the perspective even of the insurance, some procedures would be even cost efficient, more efficient to outsource for insurance, of course, to outsource, let's say, to Croatia, for example.
Yeah.
If, we see that, okay, this, orthopedic center has the capacity and they would love, like, it's not, there's a private, for example, center or public center, which, has a capacity to accept this amount of patients, let's say per month or, per year. And we understand that the cost, will be sometimes maybe 2 times.
Yeah, it will be win-win-win situation.
It will be win-win situation.
Like hospital, insurance, and patient, everybody wins.
Absolutely, and patient in the first place. But it gives us the idea that the present-day system in Europe is not patient-centric. It's system-centric. And I understand it's a complex maybe thought, but
explain.
By the end of the day, the system works the way that everyone get at least minimum, which is very important. We do not compare that to the systems which do not provide the main security of life and health of absolutely
with
the universal
with state basic insurance. You get a minimum possible.
Absolutely, it's in simple words. You more probably will not die in the street, because you do not have access to emergency services in your country. So basically, all the taxpayers, inside the universal healthcare system, we all pay for each other. Like, we pay also for someone who cannot pay. But so that it's very, in humanitarian perspective, no, of course, I do not complain for that. I understand that if we compare to United States, if you do not have money to the proper insurance, you can face dramatic situations connected to your health. No, that is, we understand.
Basic minimum.
Yes, basic minimum.
If we speak about the basic level,
we are covered.
It will be easier to get it, for example, not in Sweden, but in Croatia. And even this basic level can be higher in Croatia than in Sweden. So because for the patient, that's a problem.
For the patient, because
why I should go to Croatia? I want to have treatment at home. I believe my doctors, my hospital, I'm comfortable here. Okay, the insurers can sell the idea okay, you got 1 week additionally, health tour on the beach side, something like that, with hotel included and so on. Maybe, but still the issue is that I want my doctor, okay, in 6 months, but I want it here. Or I want it in 2 weeks, but in Croatia. So can we speak about that?
Yes, but again, it's we're coming to the nuances of, specific countries, specific places. And you see, there is no perfect healthcare system or any other system in the world. Let's do not have that illusion. If you take this expectation away, then you see things more in a calm way, not as such a dramatic problems, but as just something that needs solution. And you would love, if you have some expertise, you would love to become a part of this solution, at least to try. I do not want to, make it as a big critic, of disease, because everything, as we know, is in comparison. Okay, but if we, our problems that we now discuss, it is such a luxury problems for many other countries in the world. So it is we do not, we absolutely understand that for decades, those systems were built by smart, people, communities, and as I mentioned, that brought Europe to the world famous level of comfort of life here, and healthcare is a part of it. That's important part of it, one of the pillars, and we do really have this fundament. But who says that we cannot dream of
better
improvement, of
sure.
better?
That's what we're speaking about.
That is the core of our industry, of our business, because as I started, that there is no perfect system, but you can collect it as a puzzle, as we do collect everything in our life.
We are going slowly to insurers questions. So insurers are important stakeholder
Absolutely.
in the healthcare sector
Yeah.
in Europe. So and still for many years, industry speaking that insurance can become like important player in the medical tourism field, but still they are not. Yeah, they like. There are some cases, when insurers send, but it's not globally, but it can be more globally. So that's the question. For example, in the case when the government or the state cannot afford to treat patients in 30 days at his home country, why the insurance can't be
proactive in this?
Proactive, and to create some electronic system to find the doctors abroad to make it. So is it right step from the insurance? Because seems like they can save some money and make better for the patient. So win-win.
Yes, it looks like this.
Have you ever speak with insurance companies? How are they looking on this problem?
I think that, and also my experience of discussing those questions with insurance companies, they still see it as a very small niche, because here we go on this border of service, business, political views, agenda on the system in general, or in this or another country. And, to see it as a big picture, you should every day get the statistic of those patients, amount of patients in these nosologies, niches of medicine who are waiting. You should be really so focused on that. There is absolutely not a hidden information about the waiting for the orthopedic surgeries, especially after COVID times when they were paused, and then there's a big overload of the cases of the patients. Do these patients, if we take 100% of those ones who are waiting and, on different proportion of the condition during this waiting, we're talking about, pain and discomfort, and it impacts the whole lifestyle. Of course, we talk about patients of different age groups, that also matters, but we're not going there now to this topic. How patients in different age choose, make this decision if to go somewhere to treatment or not. But what are we talking about if, as I mentioned, the 90% of society either do not know about this opportunity to seek for treatment abroad or thinks it's illegal? You understand what I mean? If from this 100%, we will apply, let's say, to the, Google search statistic of how many, people from Sweden are searching for, we could maybe see some picture. But what if from this 100%, 90 does not know that they have opportunity to search, and then just wait, and they just accept the system as it is, and they just think that this is a unique case, for example, of their waiting. Or people who never face that, they think, this is some case very far from me. But myself, as I work with that and I collect those cases, apart from elective branches that I am dealing with in Sweden, such as dentistry, plastic surgery, etc., if we talk about specific situations, when it's long waiting time, when it's underdiagnostic, because that's not the strong part at all, when it's some specific cases, when it's just, lack of experience, if we collect 100 people in the room, and each of them will think that either it doesn't exist, the problem, or some of my family member has it, but it's unique, or it's somewhere far away. I would see every second, third person is the one who has the issue. But again, because we do not yet have the solid research fundament of our industry. We do not, collect this data in aligned matter, in the same algorithm that we all have in all European countries, and we collect it the same way with the same criteria that it can be objectively analyzed, and the map for every country can be created what to do with these problems, how to approach guidelines
for each country,
and bring it to the policymakers and see, well, we do not see the problem does not mean that it does not exist. But if they confirm that they see and they exist, then they will have to do something about that. And I think the core of challenges is somewhere in that area.
Yeah, it's real deep dive into problem. Thank you, Maria. It was interesting. Yeah, I hope our listeners will also like that, definitely. Still, so we can conclude that insurers can be a big driver for medical tourism, but currently they don't have enough data to be sure.
They do not see as enough demand. That's in my opinion.
They can create a demand. If the insurers
of course, if
will
they only
offer patients to
absolutely,
go somewhere,
absolutely, going without saying.
And probably they will make it when they'll have more data, more researchers, more
when everything will be more aligned. I cannot also imagine the situation that someone is running, in some high position in insurance, big insurance business, and just one day wake up and is like, by his or herself, coming up with the idea and start to install it. That's not how it happens. It should go from, I think, higher up decision, and then they will adjust and see potential in that. Because otherwise, if you do not have support from the policymakers, first of all, you will not come up with the idea, then you would not have enough courage or knowledge or expertise to, install that. And then, as we just spoke, again, for example, small boutique agency like mine, I do not need the data on the country basis to do what I do. I need one patient to ask me to help, and then through this one patient, then I'm building the activity, and I have more and more patients. But it's not the level we're discussing.
Yeah, that's clear.
On the level of the population of the country. That's another league of making things, of identifying the demand. So as we are brokers in certain way, as we're mediators between all different stakeholders, that is the point of association. On our individual agency levels, of different size, doesn't matter. It's a big online platform, it's a boutique agency. We all have different approach here. We're mediators between patient and the healthcare provider, and logistic around this. On European Health and Medical Tourism Association, we are mediators. We see our role as a mediators between all of us stakeholders here and policymakers. We want to raise their awareness and attention, and hopefully together with their help to bring it to another level, to start up with research, to start up with solid algorithm criteria to make those guidelines, and then step by step to see, what is, because it is very,
nobody knows
how it can develop. Yes, maybe by the end of the day.
But if you not try, then you never know.
Absolutely,
anyway.
And maybe by the end of the day, we will, if we talk about transparent, rightly made data, maybe we will see that we are somehow dramatically mistaken. And
it's also possible.
It's also possible.
Then okay.
It's also okay.
We go further.
Absolutely. Then we focus on what we have. But right now, there are no indicators that we are mistaken. All the indicators lead us that there is a huge demand and there is a big issues. And that with nowadays, because we always, we as a societies, as countries, we are a live organism. We all connected like in our body. All the outside events, they impact different systems on different levels. And in general, European countries' healthcare systems, they are under pressure for many years already.
The same problem everywhere. Aging population, right?
Aging population, economical reasons, this is also, and different countries have also different system approach about that.
So I want to ask, are there any insurance companies inside of association, or are you planning to involve some insurers into association?
Yes, absolutely. Association is again the platform for all types of stakeholders who are connected to the healthcare. And
still, there are some insurance companies, mostly private, which are already inside of medical tourism, and they are dealing with different companies like facilitators, some other hospitals in other countries, but that's like single stories probably. Still, are there any options for insurance companies to go into association to develop, to get more information about medical tourism? Do you implement some tricks to get them inside of?
We are very welcoming insurance companies to join the association, and we right now we are in negotiation with one of the quite experienced private insurance company who has these programs for the corporate clients, and they cover the treatments abroad accordingly to the requests, etc. But again, yes, this is not on the nation basis, not in the state insurance basis we're talking right now. But yes, absolutely, private insurance companies are definitely, I think, benefit to join that community of ours, because we are B2G platform. We're also B2B platform, again, in terms of expanding the network of hospitals, of facilitators, of, everything that is going on in the industry worth of attention. We filter, accumulate, and, present to our members in the right time, in the way that this information can be useful for their activities.
Yeah.
And again for this also higher mission of promoting the industry, of making it more secure, of making it more visible, of making it more on the serious ground that we all together. And we are doing that for the best practices that we all should build and create.
Yeah. I saw on the website that you have a place for academic researchers.
Yes.
And can you tell something about that?
Yes, that is definitely something unique that we're doing. Again, that was raised from our own demand of experience. In our work, we face that we sometimes lack proper data. We would love to educate and develop ourselves as well as professionals, and would be nice to have access to academic studies in our field, in general medicine, to have access of that, and that people can exchange this information. We have also the block of in our platform, we have the unit where the member can apply, and we verify it and we move forward with it, can apply the project for EU government project inside, of course, the healthcare. Yes, it can be, we have now 2 projects at work there, and they're connected to building more digital platform for medical tourism in Europe, etc., etc.
Cool.
So
please apply on the website of European Health and Medical Tourism Association if you have some good ideas, some projects already developing in the field of healthcare. So please contact Maria, contact association. That's a great option.
That's true. And EHMTA Connect is like a platform, like a tool. It's a live body that everyone can, have, the members can have access, and they have their profile, and then they use these tools for patient request submission, for project submission, research, academic, if you're looking for a job, for example, as well, inside healthcare, if you're a doctor, or if you want to get the training program, if you want to come as an intern.
Okay, so you don't have to be a member to apply for a job or internship, something you just can do it without registration.
That part will be open,
nice.
But,
that's cool.
Yeah.
Speaking about the academic stuff, I think it's important to bring some evidence inside of the industry to find some real data from the researchers to make decisions.
Very important. And again, this is a joint effort. That is, we finally are moving towards that direction of filtering, shaping just the teams of people from different countries to work together, because before everyone was like doing their own thing. That was the feeling. And that, I think, was creating this a bit frustration on the big level of all the people who are working in that for many years. But we now see this dynamic of this unification. And for example, as you mentioned, data and research, one of our dearest members of the association, the state company from the Germany, Visit Düsseldorf, the healthcare marketing department.
As I know, the winners of Medical Tourism Award
During the ITB
2026.
Berlin, yes, we are sending greetings and gratitude for all support that our partners Visit Düsseldorf, the member of association, is showing to us, and the trust which we value, and it's very mutual. We already before even association was created and we united, we were doing different projects together, and the level of I think we share, I think it's important. Visit Düsseldorf collected data, ordered the biggest professional research about North Rhine-Westphalia region, medical tourism, how many patients, what is the dynamic, what is the statistic, and they made it. That's honestly first time I see someone is doing something like this, a serious approach. Sometimes we hear some data here, some data there, no real evidence of, again, what I'm talking about, the criteria, the algorithm, something. So, this is one more goals of association is to set a standard. And when I say association, I mean Visit Düsseldorf as our member. Again, we're not we're someone who's working for someone. This is non-profit organization. We all work for important. Industry, and that is very important to understand. So, dear audience of professionals, because I address to you, we are so inviting people who can relate to what I'm saying to join us. This is exactly the organization for people who want to make some changes. For the companies, I'm saying that respectfully, who is just focused on B2B, B2C aspect, maybe we're not the right place. And we are so excited to get the results of this research that Visit Düsseldorf arranged, and it will be published on our platform. So again, you see, this is how it works.
Information sharing.
This is information sharing from big stakeholders. It's not just, from me or from Ivan Rendulic, our president, or, Christian or Pierre from founding members of the association. No. I mean, we are not, it's team always...
It's another game.
It's another game. Team always win. It's not something that we created, for ourselves, for whatever reasons could be. To have more patience. Yeah. No, that is parallel roads which will... So one day, I believe, they will cross in some point when, the quality raises, the awareness raises, the security, the policy making view on that raises, and we will be part of it. And all together, in all levels, patients will have better quality and access. We will have more opportunities to do our work and serve more patients. Hospitals will also get their patients, and that's a dream.
Develop according
and
to...
develop, yes, and so setting the standards. If we would approve research to be published on our platform, it should be by the standard that Visit Düsseldorf is now setting. Because that's a high standard.
Yeah, sure,
we will not open all the cards right now, but when if this research will be published, then we will have this confidence to say, please, see this data.
So can you tell 3 changes which you would like to present in Brussels?
Yeah, if we get opportunity to have a word, cross-border treatment directive, that it needs reshaping and attention.
Reshaping cross-border.
Reshaping cross-border directive. Focus on the visa regulation issues when we talk about the demand from patients outside of European Union to come for the treatment.
Clear.
That's a very clear case, especially for Germany.
Yeah.
These two.
These two are the main now?
Yes, these two are the main that we're bringing.
Good. Speaking about different kind of certifications in medical tourism, as I know, American Association was one of the drivers of different kind of certification. As I know, you are also certified medical tourism expert.
I am.
Yeah, I'm also. It was interesting experience, but I can't tell that it gave me some extra knowledge or something.
For me, it just gave... self-evidence, because I just like to do things properly, but Of course,
that's how it works. But
Yeah.
as I see, like the aims of associations are really like trustful and deep. So I guess the association is able to create a really good certification programs. Are you thinking about that? And in which fields? In hospital management, in medical tourism facilitators? So it's interesting because, for example, for me, it's important when the facilitator is standardized and qualified
Yes.
because they are dealing with patients, and most of them are not doctors. Yeah. So the industry have somehow to avoid this problem. Yeah, because patient doesn't know if it's certified or like can he trust or not. Maybe he's speaking so nice,
Yes.
so confident, and people go to him. But if he have a sign of some serious provider, like for example association, it can change the things.
Yes, thank you. That is also one of the bleeding questions in our industry. And as you mentioned, Medical Tourism Association from United States, just originally for the understanding of our maybe audience that is just listening about medical tourism for the first time, as a industry, as a occupation, it was legalized more or less first in United States, and then this trend came to Europe, as often happens.
They were like a game changer.
They were game changing. Like for many decades, the like hub or the main office of the medical tourism was connected to Medical Tourism Association from United States, and amazing. I mean, there was a great time actually when there was higher standard coming from them, and we felt that we should also. That's why actually I got also my certification in 2014, even before I had operational experience since 2006. Wow. So basically, in the field, I knew everything, all the protocols, and I was always, because I was working from the both sides, from the hospital side as an international department manager, and then as a facilitator. So for the sake of some extra knowledge, I agree with you. I also can't say that that like enriched me dramatically, but still, for my own self, I felt a bit like more rightful, to provide those services while being officially certificated. But I know that's not all people share this vision. And as I, even like to give this example, no offense to all dear taxi drivers from Istanbul, but I like to say that our industry yet is so unregulated that a taxi driver from Istanbul and myself, we are medical tourism agents. And we basically, we contribute, but on a different, compete. Yeah. But
so you send patient to Istanbul, and when he's coming and getting into a taxi, the taxi driver can say, oh no, this clinic is not good.
Go to this clinic. If we talk in grotesque manner about that, that's what can happen. Yeah. So of course, we need in big level this. And as about association, we're not there yet. We're now so already overloaded with the tasks more connected, what we were just discussing with you. Would it be something directly from us, or if we talk about certification, if another certification existing body will join us as a member, and then absolutely, what is the rightful saying here is that our also in the core is to become this brand of quality. That's why we do not even, you may think, okay, the new organization, a startup, we need resources, we need to grow capacity, but we decline memberships, even on this very early stage. If, again, because we're not a commercial platform that you can pay,
so and not anyone can enter association.
No. And again, this does not mean, I don't want to sound like arrogant or something. No, I don't want to be misunderstood in that. Again, we align what we do with our goals. And if our goal and purpose is to bring quality, standard, structure, it's natural that in all levels of our activities, we should take it seriously. And because, again, not commercial, this goal of association is not, to add commercially to our businesses through association. I mean, and I just want, again, I don't want to sound it like I explain myself, but I explain what we do.
It's important to tell.
It's important to tell because sometimes just in informal networking, you can get this glimpse of NGO, is like, But again, you can, if you have to explain, you don't have to explain. But the goals, we're talking about them already for 1 hour. And that's why the standard, the quality of our members, and this is a huge, this is a powerful. So, I mean, this is our basic minimum.
Yeah, basic minimum.
This is how we started. So
nice. Okay, so we are going to facilitators question. Will the facilitator still grow in the industry, or probably
disappear?
Or clinics will manage their own international departments
I love this
better?
Question.
And why market needs facilitators?
How our companies, our facilitating agencies, how we appeared just in the map of life.
Yeah.
Because people looking for the treatments. It's not that we created something and started to offer. People start more and more look to the opportunity.
And they don't go to insurers?
No, because they don't have these
help.
products.
Yeah.
Exactly. And they look for this opportunity, and this demand created the offer. Facilitation as a concept will disappear, and only digitalization will take place, especially with AI, with everything.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. That's one aspect. What you mentioned, definitely there is a dynamic that hospitals become more advanced themselves in case management international departments, and in some way they do not want facilitators. We can maybe sense it indirectly, and from position of the hospital I can understand that, as I was also the case manager in the international hospital.
Yeah.
And yes, of course, you want your patient directly, you know what to do with him or her, and yes, from business perspective, from even logistic perspective, you have direct contact and you do your thing. And yes, many hospitals, no, especially not that much inside European Union yet, but in Turkey, of course, the developed medical tourism markets. Yeah, they go this direction.
But maybe it's the same like in the hotel industry. Like, will it go everything to the projects like Booking.com we already have? Like, will they develop and
I shared with you, remember my recent experience of asking this question to the product managers of Booking.com, of the hotel platform.
So, no. I don't remember.
You don't remember?
Yeah, tell once more.
See. With my mind, of course, and as a business person, I totally understand how it works and, and why it exists. And it's actually from the revenue point, it's a successful platforms, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, sure.
But deep in my ethical understanding of our job, I always have questions about that. Because I'm the operational manager with many years of experience with dealing with people and with the travel for medical treatment is nothing to compare with the travel for leisure, for whatever other purposes. And yes, if you face, for example, the cancellation of your hotel upon the arrival, yes, it's unpleasant, but that's something, you can physically survive. If something goes dramatically wrong with your treatment,
cancellation of the surgery,
that's in a good in the best scenario. We know about complications that can happen on another levels as well. The support system, of course, the platforms they present themselves as having on-call centers, 24/7, etc., etc. Again, I don't want to go to these nuances now, but this is. I had those questions.
About the responsibilities?
About the accountability. And when on one of the big tech events in Stockholm just 1 month ago, there were amazing ladies, two leading product managers from product development managers from Booking.com, from the main office.
Yeah.
They were giving the presentation about their new products, etc., and just in general how they pick up the new product and how they develop it. Like, of course, now they have a lot of new niche. Like now they develop AI products. Okay. Understood.
Clear.
And then I got the opportunity, to ask the question almost privately to them. They had some place, they were answering the questions. And I said, I'm from this industry, this is medical tourism. They were very surprised to hear about that. And they said, I said, I'm from that industry that, people also do travel, and actually the system could be almost the same. And in some way it exists when, you have the list of you filter, and you can filter your facility where you go, and even immediately get some logistics support on that, etc. Like, platform. Yeah. And I said, but you as the main in the world platform for booking whatsoever already, we know they provide a lot of booking services, not only hotels.
Sure.
Why you never took it as a product development to your organization? And they immediately said, we do not develop on our digital platform level something that we cannot be accountable for. Then the question rises, okay, me or you or our other colleagues who are running their smaller businesses, which of course the advantage of that is simple. We pay with less of the revenue for the quality of the providers that we give, again, because it's not on a commercial basis, it's on the filter basis of the quality, etc. So it's not like anyone can, pay me to be placed, in my resources and be accessible to the patients, right?
Yeah.
Do we have what is the amount of accountability we can, provide? As we are also, and what amount of accountability, the doctor, the hospital. So this in general is a big question. And of course, for medicine.
Yeah.
But here I see it as a proportion that, of course, I also do not bear all the accountability for what might, have happened. But again, as a professional, I know for example, malpractice statistic and how to get it from this or another country. If we go from up down, then of course there is criteria of how to pick up the medical facility, and we're not going to talk about this backstage, questions right now. Every level, every layer, and that's what identify, the trustful provider from someone who is doing that not on the professional level is still what is your involvement in the whole process. Do you offer your patients to get extra medical tourism insurance for their trip, or different variations of how to secure, the maximum of the maximum of securement that exists? You cannot give it all.
To do everything to make maximum security.
To make maximum security.
To be involved in each case,
to be involved until, as I always say, for my company, the medical tourism journey of the client finishes with a objective, final, total, verbalized, confirmed satisfaction of this patient.
Yeah.
It may happen long far from the return back home or whatever can be details along the way.
Yeah.
No big, that's objective. We all understand that this is not the quality.
So it's like personalized story,
customized
about facilitator.
Absolutely. And I think medical tourism helping to arrange treatment and get the best of the experience out of it on all levels. Because again, this is a huge topic. Medical travel is not just this treatment itself. It's just all levels, cultural, educational, economical. It's a big product. To wrap to package, to wrap it all up, to follow up, to make sure the patient by the end of the day is healthy, happy, everything went well, or if something went wrong, that it's fixed.
I would like to speak also about the marketing of medical services inside of European Union. In different countries, there are different regulations for marketing.
Yeah.
For example, in Germany, it's not allowed to put like before and after pictures on social media.
But this is general in Europe,
mostly
for European
in Europe.
countries.
Yeah. Do you think currently these regulations, are they okay, or they are too strict, or it's right position of the policymakers to make it like that? What do you think about it?
In my opinion, it's a right position, of course.
For example, when we show like plastic surgery before and after, yeah?
No, that is the right position. Again, why? Because there are no other mechanisms
to control
to control the offer.
Not fair offers.
Yes, if we imagine that everything is taken seriously on the level that it should be taken, then there is a controlling body just for medical tourism, or let's say for cross-border travel or for treatment whatsoever. And then that, in this case, maybe that can lead to the change of those laws. But, if you were as a medical facility from, another country to be able to provide this type of marketing tools, you need to be verified by the main...
And the content must be confirmed by the bodies.
Yes, exactly. Because this organ does not exist, then it's easier to ban everything. And that makes sense in order that not the fraud information or you understand, something that can be risky for the health.
Have you ever seen in your social media some marketing campaigns from countries from inside of Europe and outside of Europe?
Yes, of course.
I think you have writing a lot of medical words, so that's why it's coming to you.
Course.
So have you seen like not good marketing, like too low price, to unbelievable result or something like
Of course.
that. Can they enter European market with not good regulated campaign, with not
No, of course,
truth results?
Of course.
They can.
Of course.
Yeah,
of course.
but...
but if inside Europe, inside European market, you cannot do that. If you're plastic surgery from Poland, any country, you cannot do this.
Fair.
No, that's not fair.
Turkey can make it and Poland cannot make it.
In Turkey, there is also the same law. You cannot post before and after, but it's violated on daily basis.
Yeah.
So this is just the matter of who, how is doing business.
If you are in Turkey and you post it in Europe, then
no, you don't have any responsibility for that. No one can make you a lawsuit or something.
Yeah. So it's interesting.
It's interesting.
What do you think? Like now AI also coming, so more different results can be shown which are not appropriate. And
of course, even without AI, that's was done.
From the one hand, how to regulate this, and from the other hand, how hospitals can do marketing then?
Yes, but again, if we talk about some unified structure, it's just the general improvement of the quality of medical providers, their certification and guidelines for them, generalized marketing guidelines, of course, what is allowed, what is not allowed.
That's interesting.
And then if that does not is not what you offer for real, then that should be the, of course, consequences of that.
Okay. Are you, as a facilitator company, make some advertisement?
I advertise, yes, my consultancy in the questions of picking up the treatment that the person needs.
You just said, I'm Maria Cares.
Yes, I arrange treatments abroad, etc., etc.
Okay, yes. Without showing the results.
Without
that's
results.
allowed and that's okay.
Yes.
Okay, it works.
It does. It does.
So do you think like this will give more conversion, or if you show like a result like...
That depends on the niche. Of course, in the plastic surgery, the results are crucially important. And we come to this point in the process. Yeah. I mean, when, client picking up the facilities. Yes, when it's already individually. Yes, absolutely. But no, it depends on the niche. Of course, dentistry, yourself, of course, it plays a crucial role, of course. People want to see the result. Yes, absolutely.
Speaking about the core identification of Europe across other worldwide medical tourism destination, will Europe promote itself like a affordable destination or like premium destination or something else? What do you think the marketing concept for Europe globally?
Good question.
It's not cheap.
No.
In some parts. But in Albania, it's cheap.
Again, Europe also is diverse in this sense. Absolutely. Which is not totally bad. It creates the healthy competition. Still in regulative point from the laws inside European Union, you cannot dumping prices ridiculously, so that it will collapse the whole idea. No. Medical tourism indeed is a cost-sensitive story. When we talk about treatment in Europe, I would still focus on the quality of the standard of the treatment. And
European quality. We can, there's no point to invent a wheel in this sense. Okay.
It is here. It didn't disappear as we started our conversation from a short historical note. It's just get defragmented. It just get... not a bit strange to access, but it is here. And this is something we can work with.
Yeah.
And as for prices, that also didn't change much historically. There is, every country has its own economy and prices, of course, differs. Of course, if we compare Northern Europe to Eastern Europe, that's just a change of the price. Different parts who are closer to each other, mostly the same.
But for Americans, it will be anyway cheap.
Yes, that's going without saying.
So it depends on the market.
It depends on the market. Define expensive, define cheap. Yeah. That is very context thing. It's absolutely, we cannot say in this perspective, and it's a complex story, know.
Yeah.
And I again, by my own experience, it's just psychology of people, Of course, cost sensitivity is here, but again, if we talk especially about the non-elective, like the treatment that you need, that is not, your luxury choice to do or not to do. Mm-hmm. the quality of the treatment always stands first.
First,
and then
yeah.
likely you can afford it.
Yeah,
you
the
know?
price can be like a hook, but the decision part is
Quality
about
of
the
the treatment
quality.
of the doctor, of the whole package.
Who is the main competitor for European countries now on the medical tourism market globally? Is it like Gulf countries maybe already, or is it India?
The Gulf countries, by the way, are incredibly developing. Incredibly. That's also thanks to that. Maybe we accelerated a bit in our initiative, but that's a very healthy competition. And it's like also I took this from yesterday's day in ITB Berlin from discussions. I like this term when it's competition and collaboration together. Combination of these two words is like, healthy competition is when you collaborate same time and
Yeah.
you
And both of you are
growing and providing better services. That is the best. And that is, if we talk about Gulf countries, definitely they are now so developing. And with their collaboration with Europe, it's like you're raising the younger brother, helping. Maybe he will become better than you, but
Yeah.
you are just in this dynamic, which is healthy. But of course, for decades, we have the excellent example of how country can develop and get understanding, alignment, and investment from the policymakers. That is, of course, Turkey. Of course, we know that statistic is actually more visible. People from Europe, we just now put
visible when you come in Istanbul airport. It's visible.
No, it's
like
even
people...
in numbers. I mean, but we put aside now all the black PR that then comes around, goes around. That's another story. All countries in this sense are more or less the same.
Okay.
There is, of course, this competition, the closest competition, if we're not talking about going overseas, towards the west or towards eastern direction, as South Korea is, China is very developing in medical tourism.
So if Europe wants to lead a medical tourism market, it should go beyond the slogans today. Europe should concentrate on premium services, on quality, on the history of the medical tourism brand, which was developed for decades and for centuries as well.
We would like to continue promote Europe as a medical and health tourism destination. United, structured, secure, and we insist that the benefit for citizens, for patients, comes along with a teamwork of all of us, of all stakeholders of this industry. We invite everyone to join European Health and Medical Tourism Association, or just to be aware that treatment in different countries is available option, and that if you need it professionally, please address to us, and we will always assist. Thank you.
Thank you, Maria. It was really interesting to listen about the situation on the European medical and health tourism market. I think our listeners will enjoy this podcast. So stay tuned in medical tourism, keep updated, and have a good time. Thank you.